Factories were opening, jobs were everywhere, and people start moving. An engineer named Joseph Bazalgette, he came up with a very bold idea. Imagine you wake up tomorrow morning, you brush your teeth, take a shower, use the toilet, and nothing leaves your home. No drains, no sewage pipe, no wastewater treatment. Within a few days, your street would become a health hazard. Within weeks, the disease could start spreading, and within a month, the city would become unlivable. Sounds crazy, right? But for most of the human history, this was normal. In fact, just 200 years ago, some of the biggest cities of the world were drowning in their own wastes. So, what changed? What inventions allowed cities to grow from few thousand peoples to millions? And it's surprising, it wasn't electricity, it wasn't skyscraper, it wasn't even a car. It was something that's beneath our feet. Hello everyone, I am Ashutosh Kumar, a civil engineering student from BIT Mishra, and welcome to ArcInfos, where we uncover engineering that built our world. Let's dive in. Let's travel back to early 1800s. We all know during that period industrial revolution was booming. Factories were opening, jobs were everywhere, and people start moving from villages to cities in a huge number. At first, this looked like a progress. More people means more workers. More workers means more industries. More industries means more wealth. Isn't it? But there was a problem that nobody solved, the human waste. Many families lived close together, but cities had no proper way to get rid of the sewage. Many families dumped it into the open drains. Others dumped it directly into the river. And here's the disgusting part. Those same river water were used for drinking purpose. By now you might have guessed what have happened next. Yes, the disease outbreak were common. Cholera, typhoid, dysentery became too common at that time. Entire neighborhood would get sick and thousands of people died. And this was nowhere more visible than our favorite city, London. By the 1850s, the river Thames became so polluted that people could barely stand near it. The smell was unbearable and it became famous as the Great Stink. Imagine, river was smelling so bad that even government officials couldn't work there properly. That's how the serious situation became, and that's where engineers stepped in. Now here's what I love about engineering. Sometimes the biggest problems doesn't need any flashy solutions. They need smart ones. An engineer named Joseph Bazalgette, I might mispronounce it, so sorry for that, but he came up with a very bold idea. Instead of letting the sewage stay in the city, why not move it away? Yeah, you might think I'll pick that sewage up, throw it away. It's not that simple. It was one of the massive challenges to do so. Engineers began designing huge underground sewer tunnels beneath London. Not small pipes, entire underground network, and it was thousands of kilometers long. Most of the system relied on gravity, neither on any advanced electronics nor on any computers. It was just smart engineering and careful design. Every pipe was placed at a right slope so waste could naturally flow towards the treatment and disposal areas. It was one of the largest infrastructure projects of its time, and it worked. The city became cleaner, disease outbreak dropped, people lived longer. For the first time, a growing city could actually stay healthy. Soon, cities around the world started copying the idea. Now, let's talk about why this changed the human civilization. Think about New York, think about Bombay, think about Tokyo, think about Delhi. Now imagine all of them without a sewer system. It's impossible to live without it in these big cities. The moment millions of people start living together, waste management becomes a survival problem. That's why sewer systems are so important. Every time you flush your toilet, or every time you wash your dishes, or every time you take a shower, an invisible engineering gets to work. Most people never see it. Most people never think about it. And yet, modern cities depend on it every single day. In many ways, skyscraper exists because sewer system exists. Because before you can build upward, first you have to solve what happens underground. Of course, the story doesn't end here. Even today, sewer systems face challenges. Building them is expensive, even maintaining them is expensive. An older system sometimes struggles during heavy rainfall. You may have noticed roads flooding after the storms, and sometimes underground networks become overloaded too. It's the most concerning part. Many countries have advanced sanitation systems, but billions of people across the world still lack proper sanitation access. Which means this challenge is far from solved. Civil engineers today are working on smarter treatment plants, better drainage system, and more sustainable urban infrastructure. This mission still continues. Before we finish, here are a few facts. Some sewer systems were so large that even cars can pass through them. Some sewers built 150 years ago are still operating. Modern wastewater treatment plants can actually generate electricity using gases produced from seepage. And perhaps the craziest fact of all, one of the humanity's most important invention is something that most people never even noticed. When people talk about invention, they mention airplanes, computers, or the internet. And yes, they are incredible. But they all came later. Before cities could become modern, before millions of people could live closely together, before urban civilization could truly grow, someone had to solve the waste problem. And that's exactly what sewer system did. So the next time when you walk through a clean city street, remember, beneath your feet is one of the greatest engineering achievement in human history. A hidden invention that quietly keeps your entire city alive, and without it, the modern civilization which we know, it simply wouldn't exist. Thank you for watching. I'm signing off from this video and will welcome you in the next. Ta-da!